A frozen meat importer allegedly involved in the meat cartel scandal in Johor will be charged in court tomorrow for using fake halal logos on its vehicles. Bernama quoted Deputy Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Minister Datuk Rosol Wahid as saying that the company also faked the logo of another company whose products are in high demand. He reportedly said that the company in question had begun operations in 2014 and obtained a license for importing frozen products in 2017. The ministry is also said to have frozen 1 million ringgit in assets belonging to the said company. The frozen meat scandal was thrust into the spotlight late last month following a report by Sinar Harian which alleged the existence of a cartel which had been importing non-certified meat and repackaging it with fake halal stamps before selling it to local suppliers. On December 1st, authorities raided a frozen meat company warehouse in Senai Industrial Park, Johor, where the smugglers allegedly generated the fake labels. According to New Straits Times, officers seized 1,500 tons of frozen meat with an estimated value of 30 million ringgit. The FBM KLCI closed down 8.9 points or 0.5% at 1,634.99 today, partly due to the slump in glove makers' share prices as COVID-19 vaccines gain momentum. Across Bursa Malaysia at 5 p.m, 9.17 billion securities were traded for 4.22 billion ringgit, with glove manufacturers ending the day among the Bursa's top decliners. Hartalega Holdings closed down 4.2% at 11 ringgit 94 cent. Supermax Corp fell 5.2% to 6 ringgit 6 cent, while Top Glove Corp slipped by 4% to 6 ringgit 1 cent. Fortress Capital Asset Management CEO Thomas Yong said market sentiment has turned bearish on glove stocks since the rollout of COVID-19 vaccines, despite the strong earnings performance achieved by the glove companies so far. While a strong rebound in share price is unlikely, he said there might be opportunity when the valuation of glove stocks gradually normalize to their historical average. Meanwhile, Kenanga Investment Bank Head of Research Koh Huat Sun told theedgemarkets.com that many institutional funds have had overweight positions on these glove makers, so some may want to trim their overweight positions before the end of the year. Genting Malaysia's unit, Resorts World Genting, has clarified that it remains open and that the hotel and casino operator is not operating in the affected area where an EMCO is being implemented. Resorts World Genting was referring to the movement restrictions that are in place at the Amber Court and Ria apartments until January 6th to curb the spread of the COVID-19 outbreak. Resorts World Genting added that the first COVID-19 case involving one of its employees was reported on November 24th, and that all close contacts of this patient had completed the required medical treatment, quarantine period and tests prior to resuming their duties. It stressed that it requires all of its employees, including third-party workers and contractors, to undergo a strict screening and testing regime for the virus on a regular basis to ensure the safety of both its employees and visitors. Investment Bank Research is keeping its neutral rating on the property sector, saying the circumstances will remain challenging for real estate players in the next 12 months. In a sector report today, investment analyst Tong Pak Ling said, even with most developers having achieved new sales targets, sales were down about 22% in the cumulative first 9 months of 2020 compared with the previous year, due to a lackluster market amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Developers were instead more aggressive in clearing unsold units by offering discounts with the inventory level on a declining trend. In the medium term, he said developers with overseas exposure should do better, especially those with a presence in China and Singapore. Land banking activities are expected, especially in good locations close to the Kuala Lumpur city centre, major expressways, and MRT and LRT lines. Meanwhile, the affordable segment is anticipated to perform well, with resilient demand coming from young professionals and families due to continued urbanisation. M Investment's top picks are Sunway with a fair value of RM1.93, Scientech's fair value RM12.69, and Marsing, fair value RM1.50. Shares in Mestron Holdings rose by some 12% to an all-time high in early trade today on the back of a positive technical outlook for the stock. The industrial product and services provider climbed by as high as 3 cents to reach 24.5 cents before ending the day still 2% higher at 22 cents. RHB Retail Research said Mestron saw its share price jump higher in tandem with an increase in trading volume. In a trading stock note earlier today, the research house said, with the recent surge in trading volume, the sentiment tends to be bullish and the stock is ready to challenge the immediate resistance level marked at 21.5 cents. If it breaks out from the resistance, RHB said it expects the positive momentum to drive it towards the next resistance level, pegged at 24 cents, followed by 25.5 cents. It said a downside breach of the 19 cent support level will nullify this expectation and see further share price correction.